to the first in a series of videos to demonstrate what the Betform Pro tool can do. Today we'll focus on the pre-match query tool. In here you can obviously select your given filters and drill down to find the best betting opportunities for you. Here we can select which league you want to choose. We've got La Liga, Spanish La Liga, obviously the English CPL Premiership, and Serie A. So for the purpose of this, let's just pick the Premiership. At the moment, obviously, we've got all the teams, all the games from the last sort of games of the last season here. So for let's select Tottenham Fulham for here. My team being Tottenham. Let's see what we can find in that game. So here is the period box. Here you can select the number of games that you wish to choose, 1 to 100, whatever you like to choose. Keep it simple. We'll select the last 10 games. Here you can check the relevant box, so you might want to look at the last 10 games just from this season, including last season, so on and so forth. So again, keeping it simple, we'll just do the last 10 games overall. Here we've got the gradings. Now by default you'll see a tick box selected, so we're looking at Tottenham here, home team versus grade C. Now we have Fulham as a grade C side, like a mid-table team. Obviously on this side we've got Tottenham ticked as a grade B. So Tottenham we got down as a grade B, which is effectively like a 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th type place side, sort of top 8, but not the big 2, big 4 sort of sides. So by default that's what it's selected as. You can obviously broaden that search to possibly include grade Ds, which would then effectively cover the whole bottom half of the table. I mean, you might want to sort of Tottenham, unlucky last season, possibly you could class them as a grade A. So you can broaden it slightly if you wish. We'll keep it on the default settings for now, which is a grade Tottenham versus grade C and Fulham versus a grade B. So once you've selected your chosen filters, click on the generate report button. And obviously here you'll see you've selected Tottenham playing at home against grade C versus Fulham playing against grade B. If you want to go back and check your settings again, you can do that by clicking the show hide filters. So let's hide these filters for the time being. Right, here's where the sort of results etc are all displayed. You'll see here a little show fixtures button. You click on that and it obviously just shows you the games that right, okay, so here you'll see view all. So you're going to view all betting markets that we cover, which I think at the moment here is about 50 different markets. We've got popular markets, your full-time, half-time, over 2.5 goal markets, half-time, full-time, both teams to score, winning margin, etc, etc. In the goals, it just focuses purely on the goals, so you get all the over-unders markets, clean sheets, both teams to score, win both halves, first goal, last goal, an array of markets, including a lot of the fringe markets. Obviously corners and cards. The corners section, we're only doing the over 10.5 for most corners. That will develop into sort of more the corner markets and a few more the bookings markets as the next season progresses. Half-time markets, scoring both halves, first half, goals markets, half of the most goals. Many of the main markets are covered here. So for now, let's just click onto the view all. So we're going to show you every market. If we expand on, let's just say on the full-time market here, what you've got here is this column here basically represents the total of all of the home teams and the away teams, and you've got this is the number of games it represents. So combined, the home team, you're looking at 16 home wins, 1 away win and 2 draws. Now obviously what you don't want is something that's weighted heavily towards the home or the away team's results. So if you have a look over here at the home team's results, Spurs, when playing grade C sides of similar ability, i.e. to Fulham's ability, they've won 9, lost none and drawn 1. So very solid home record against those type of grades. The away team, Fulham have lost 8, won 1, drawn 1. So pretty balanced across the two there. So that's pretty strong. Looking at that, it's pretty strong stats towards a home win. Let me just explain what this is. Obviously the home team won 16, away team won 1, drawn 2. So that represents for the home team an 84% chance of a win, which the implied odds would be 1.19, and the bookmakers are currently offering 1.4. So that represents a 13% value. So you might say, yeah, that's a pretty solid bet. Personally, I wouldn't bet at those type odds. What I'm looking for is stuff, probably as a rule, we just prefer looking for stuff around the even money, 50-50 call. And what we're looking for really is a percentage chance of obviously that exceeding 50%, at least a 50% chance of that result happening. So, from a betting point of view, probably wouldn't touch that. So let's look a little bit further and drill down. We'll expand all the markets. Obviously, when something's in blue, that's highlighting perceived value. If it's in red, it's obviously a negative value. In this instance, you've got negative 12% value, but you wouldn't want to be laying at odds of 2.6, what the bookmakers are currently on offer. When we're laying, we like to be looking for stuff that's odds on, at least odds on. We can lay at a nice low price. Again, if you're laying at even money, it's the equivalent of backing at even money. So, that gives you some idea of what we're looking for in terms of the negative value. So if you scroll down a little bit further, here, obviously on the half-time result, 63% chance, home teams won 12, lost 2, drawn 5, 63%, implied odds 1.58, bookmakers are offering even money, so 13% value. You'd view that as a pretty solid selection. Anything over 10%, like I say, would be classed as a pretty solid selection. We'd obviously sort of look into it a little bit further. So what I do is tend to make notes as you go along. So full-time result, we've got a 13% value, 84% chance, very solid. Over 1.5 goals, very little value on either side there. Obviously on the over 0.5 goals, which is basically a goal happening, very solid, but you wouldn't want to be backing again at sort of odds at 1.22. Over under 2.5 goals, unders represents a little bit of value, 53%, bookmakers currently 2.3, so that represents a bit of value. Going down further, a little bit of value in the 3.5, but again not significant enough to even look at in any more detail. Again, all these higher sort of goals markets are avoidable. A little bit of value in the Spurs full-time double. A little bit of value, probably not enough to again look into in any more detail. First half correct score 1-0, happened on 8 occasions, 42%, 2.38. Bookmakers offering 3.60. Second half correct score, again, pretty good stats there. Eight games have had just a single 1-0 second half result. 42% chance, and you can get odds of 4.0 with the bookmakers, 3-1 chance. Again, what you're doing as you're going through this is you're trying to sort of get an overall picture of the game. So we'll make a mental note of that. 60-minute result, no value in any of that. Again, same with this sort of 75-minute result. There's nothing really of any significance there that stands out. Home team to keep a clean sheet, bit of value in the yes. Spurs to keep a clean sheet, and masses of value here if you look. The away team, i.e. in this instance Fulham to keep a clean sheet. Between the two, there's only been one clean sheet for the away side, so that's representing 35% value there. But again, wouldn't really want to be backing it odds of that 1.67. Very short price. But what we're doing is painting a picture here. So so far we've looked. There's a bit of value in half-time home win, the 1-0, the 2-0. Home team Spurs to keep a clean sheet, looking pretty solid. Away Fulham not to keep a clean sheet. So far we've sort of painted a picture of 1 or 2 goals to the home side. Again, both teams to score. No, there's value in that. So again, we're looking at a 1-0 sort of situation here, where the value lies. Full-time correct score. There's value in the 1-0, the 2-0. Very little in the 2-1. Double chance markets, again these are very short price markets, but good if you're favouring the away sort of underdog. sometimes you can pick up some good value there. Exact total goals, nothing there really of any significance. These are really for referencing these exact total goals markets. They don't tend to display the bookmakers' odds, but it's good for a reference point of view. Exact total goals, obviously, is quite broad. There's nothing stand out there. Race to 2 goals, booking race to 2 goals, home team to win the race to 2 goals. Yeah, but not enough value for us to be looking at or considering. Again, second half, nothing in that. Most corners, nothing there really. To score in both halves, a little bit on the home, but not enough. Again, not enough. But again, we're painting this overall picture. Spurs to win both halves, that's pretty solid. 58% chance of it happening. Odds 3.3. That is 28%. So again, painting a picture. Spurs winning the first half. Spurs win the second half. Sort of 1-0, 2-0. Spurs to win either half. Little bit of value, but obviously you wouldn't be backing it odds as short as that. Total goals markets, guaranteed, almost 100% is going to be a goal. Even two or more goals is where it's pointing towards. Here we've got a bit of a blip. I think at the time this was all programmed, the odds weren't communicating properly with these particular 4 markets. But yeah, again, so we're looking at, painting a picture of 2 goals or more, clean sheet, home win. Total goals range, nothing there of significance. Corners markets, unfortunately odds weren't feeding into this when we settled this up, so we can unfortunately overlook that for now. Home team to win by 1 goal, that looks pretty solid. Home team winning by 1 goal. First half goals, pretty much solidly under 1.5, bit of value, so pointing towards 1 single goal. Second half goals, not an awful lot of value. Maybe a little bit of value in the under 1.5, but certainly no value in 2.5 goals in the second half. That's for sure. Where are we now? First goal, home team to score first, pretty strong, but do you really want to be backing it? 1.4, probably not. Scrolling down, always looking for the blue and the red, really. That's all we're looking for. Blue and red. Blue and red is going to show us positive or negative value, and we can act on that information. Half of the most goals, a little bit of value in the second half. Odds 2.1, 1.73 implied odds. So yeah, a little bit of value there. So overall, when you look back at all this, it's looking pretty solid for a Tottenham win. Tottenham win to 0, both teams to score no, so that's what it's pointing to. And obviously if we look at the result from last season, Spurs did in fact win 2-0, they won to 0, and they won both halves, winning the first half 1-0, and the second half 1-0. So this highlighted so many of these key results that you could have got into the market, key stats, and highlighted value where you could have got into the market and paid dividends.